there, Novi. We are celebrating 20 years of a very special birthday this year in Novi Parks, and that's the Novi Parks Foundation. So joining me today are three members of the Parks Foundation who have been crucial to its success, especially over the last 10 years in which I've been involved. I'd like to start with introductions. Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa Agosta. I am the director. I've been the director since 2022.
Dave.
David Landry. I've been a member of the Parks Foundation since 2012.
Charley Staab. I've been a member of the Park Foundation since its inception in 2004.
So Charley, I think we'll just start with you then as a standing member. So
Okay.
yeah, so Charley, why don't you, since you've been with us from the beginning, why don't you talk a little bit about the history? How did it form? How did you get involved?
Well, I was a representative coming out of the Novi Parks Recreation and Cultural Services Commission. We've got two, at that time we had two members on the formation of the foundation. It was David Stout and myself, and then we worked with the attorneys to put together and craft an agreement that we could present to City Council. We felt it was a necessary means to attract donors and funds for park improvement, park and construction, and so on, as Novi has been and still sustains sizable growth, and people want to contribute to the betterment of the park and improve the community they live in.
And it really started with the ITC Sports Park, right?
That was our major first win, if you will. A huge commitment by ITC for the naming rights and improvements in community sports park, new ball fields, redo of ball fields, and then also down the line into the trail system that we have today here in Novi. Plus, outside of the foundation, ITC has also been a major contributor to Jessica's splash pad that will go online Memorial Day weekend.
David, I'm going to turn to you. Former mayor, kind of give us your background as both the mayor and on the foundation. What are the benefits? What did you see? What caused you to join?
The foundation was created, as Charley said, in 2004. As you well know, Jeff, it costs a lot of money to build and maintain large facilities, and in addition to improve them. And a lot of people forget that there are a lot of small needs, that not necessarily the big ones. Charley mentioned ITC. I think they've donated $750,000
yeah.
since the foundation was started, and but there are also kids who need scholarships. You know, there are people in Novi who can't afford just the what it costs to be on a little league baseball team or a soccer team, and businesses want to be corporate residents of the city, and they would like to donate and help out and be part of the community. And that's really what the foundation started out. I was on city council at the time. I hadn't been elected mayor, and there were businesses who were interested in being members of the community and wanted to show their support. But businesses can't just give money to the city, because people think that then they're trying to buy, preferential treatment. And so the Parks Foundation is really not part of the city. We're separate. We are our own 501c3 charitable organization, and we work hand in glove with the Parks Commission, which is, Charley's been a member of the Parks Commission forever, and part of the foundation. But my involvement was after being an elected official. I've been involved with Villa Bar, and so when I stepped down as mayor, I wanted to join the foundation so that we could solicit funds, and I had a little bit of knowledge on Villa Bar and where it was going and how it started, and that's how I got involved in the foundation.
Yeah, and I'd say it's fair to say that Villa Bar would not exist without your guidance as mayor and also coming into the foundation as well. So
it's been a group effort by a lot of people.
Yes, but
it really has.
We appreciate it. So let's talk a little bit about fundraising. As David mentioned, their biggest event every year is Pour on the Shore, and I know that's an event that's near and dear to your heart. You've ran it for several years. Tell us a little bit more.
Absolutely. It started about 10 years ago. This is actually our 7th year. With COVID, we shut down for a couple of years. It is at Pavilion Shore Park on Friday, July 26th. It starts at 6:30. We have music, dancing, food trucks. We have beer tastings, bourbon, vodka tastings, cornhole, and it's a fundraiser for the Novi Parks Foundation. It's actually the one major fundraiser we have every single year. And we had 400 tickets last year, and our goal for this year is 500 tickets.
Charley and David, I know you've been to every single one of those. Any comments, any thoughts on that event?
Well, it's grown tremendously over the years, both with city and business involvement. It's not uncommon to see business owners out there volunteering by giving out chips or pouring beer or whatever, but also the financial backing from our many different businesses and many different people that do that work with the city on the different projects and so on and so forth.
Well, Pour on the Shore is held in one of our most beautiful parks and one of the newer parks, Pavilion Shore, right there on Walled Lake. It's a beautiful setting on a summer evening, and I couldn't think of a better location for that event. It's outside. There's a tent. As Melissa said, there's music, there's food, drinks. It has been very successful, and we are blessed by the number of volunteers that it takes to really run that. That doesn't run itself. People like Melissa plan all year round, and literally she works all year round. This isn't something that comes together in 6 weeks, but on the actual days before and the actual events, the city employees volunteer, you do, and a lot of volunteers really step forward to put our best face forward.
I think you hit it on the head. One of the most stunning settings you can have for an event like that. We've seen the sunset go down throughout the event, and it just puts the people who are there in awe of the park that we've developed and the atmosphere we create. Pavilion Shore is one of our huge accomplishments, but I know the Parks Foundation has been key on a lot of other things. So I'm going to ask each of you, what are you most proud of in your term on the Parks Foundation? What's a project, what's an initiative that you're most proud of? We'll start with Charley.
All of them. Every project. But to get down to brass tacks, and near and dear to our heart, and my heart specifically, the redo or the remodelization, reconstruction of the Pope Play structure at ITC Community Sports Park. I think David said it best when we met with City Council back in 19, I believe it was, where we said we're contributing dollars for the reconstruction of Pope Play structure. So we're going bookends for the youth, and then we're also doing things on the upper end for the adults with new pickleball courts at Wildwood Park and so on. So, but one big area I can't say enough and thank people enough for is the naming rights and the ITC contribution. Not only with the dollars, but their vision and support of the community.
Going along with what Charley said, what I'm the most proud of for the foundation accomplishments is the fact that we have spread out the money that we've raised for a wide array. Like there's active sports, there's ball fields, there's ITC Trail, there is art with Villa Bar, there's youth. We've raised money for the play structure with the soft surfaces where kids can play right near the softball fields, the adult softball fields. So when the adults come to play softball, we encourage them to bring their families, and the kids can play in the soft play structure that's safe for them. And like I mentioned earlier, the scholarship program. And we really have tried, and I think done a very good job of making sure that the funds that we raise are used by everyone in the city, not just one sector or one aspect of recreation. That's why it's called Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services. And so that's what I'm proud of, is we've really been conscious of, and I think done a good job in raising funds for the whole spectrum.
And I will say Jessica's Star splash pad. I think it started here in Novi, and it's spread across the United States. We've received donations pretty much from one end of the country to the other, and it really has pulled everyone together to create a beautiful place for a beautiful person. And the Star family has been incredible, and working with the Novi Parks and the city of Novi, it's going to be an amazing, amazing place.
So that's our future, and it's coming right around the corner. What do you see for the next 20 years, or what do you want? What message do you want to send the community? We've had a great 20 years. We want at least 20 more. What message would you like to send your fellow residents of Novi?
Keep bringing us new projects and new ideas, and sticking to our core values, as David mentioned, not only with the funds we raise, but helping out the underprivileged for participation in different sports, or providing equipment for them to participate. Also keeping our diversification, not only with the active sports, but the cultural services. So we're a all-encompassing type organization, and we fund different projects and venues that appeal to the masses, if you will.
The message that I would like to convey is we're here for you. We are here to provide recreational cultural services for the residents of Novi. And so the residents need to tell us what they want. They need to tell us what's important to them. And no idea is crazy or outlandish. We'll listen to everything. And of course, we raise funds to assist with the city, but we also need volunteers. We need people everywhere from the board of directors. The board of directors is open. If somebody wants to get involved, Melissa certainly needs assistance in her year-round, suggestion or efforts on Pour on the Shore, volunteers for activities. And as you well know, pickleball is one example of a sport that's exploded in the last 10 years. So where are we going to be in 10 years? The residents have to tell us where we're going to be in 10 years.
And I'm looking forward to continue to support the foundation. If anyone is interested in volunteering, we always have a place on the board. Pour on the Shore, pouring, decorating. We're always looking for sponsorships from local businesses. So anything that, if anyone questions, please reach out to us. We're at noviparksfoundation.org.
Well, again, I'd like to personally thank all three of you on behalf of my team and all the other city staff who are involved with Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services. We've come a long ways with your support. A lot more we can do as well, as you've mentioned, but I appreciate your dedication. I appreciate your friendship. We've grown in my time here just a little over 10 years, and I greatly appreciate all three of you and the rest of the board members. So as you heard from these outstanding individuals, if you'd like to get more involved or have more information, visit noviparksfoundation.org. There's opportunities to donate. There's opportunities to contact the foundation. There's opportunities to be a board member or contribute in any way that you could possibly help. So thank you for joining us.